Did you know that yelling at your children could actually increase their behavioral problems by up to 30%? Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Tanisha Burke, your positive discipline coach, and I'm here to help you avoid the top 5 parenting mistakes that could be holding your child back. A 2016 study showed that harsh discipline harms children's emotional growth. But the good news, you can turn things around with simple, respectful strategies that work. In this video, we'll break down why these mistakes matter and share practical, positive discipline tips to build a stronger, happier connection with your children. Let's dive in. Parenting is one of the most rewarding yet challenging journeys we embark on. It's a constant learning process, and mistakes are inevitable. However, some common parenting missteps can unintentionally hinder a child's emotional growth, self-esteem, and ability to navigate the world. By adopting a positive discipline approach, which focuses on mutual respect, teaching, and connection, we can avoid these pitfalls and foster a nurturing environment for our children. For the rest of this video, we'll explore the top 5 parenting mistakes, why they matter, and practical positive discipline strategies to use instead. The first parenting mistake is yelling or using harsh punishment. Yelling or resorting to harsh punishments like spanking or excessive timeouts may seem effective in the moment, but they often create fear rather than understanding. These approaches can damage the parent-child relationship, lower your child's self-esteem, and teach them to respond to conflict with aggression or avoidance. Cross-cultural research has shown that harsh discipline is linked to increased behavioral problems and emotional distress in children over time. What should we do instead of yelling and harsh punishment? We can begin by practicing to be calm, firm, and kind in our communication. Positive discipline emphasizes teaching over punishment. Right now, I'm going to give you some additional tips that you can use instead of yelling and using punitive discipline. The first is to pause and regulate. Before reacting, I encourage you to take a deep breath or step away briefly to calm yourself. Modeling emotional regulation teaches your children to do the same. 2 is to use I statements. Instead of yelling, "Stop making a mess," try, "I feel frustrated when toys are left out. Let's clean up together." 3. Focus on solution. Engage your child in problem solving. For example, if they're not listening, say, "It seems like it's hard to follow directions right now. Let's figure out what will help you." 4. Natural consequences. Allow logical consequences when safe and appropriate. If your child refuses to wear a coat, they might feel cold outside, which teaches them more effectively than lecturing them all the time. By staying calm and collaborative, you model respect and teach your child how to handle challenges constructively. The second parenting mistake is over-controlling or micromanaging. Constantly directing your child's every move, whether it's their play, schoolwork, or choices, can stifle their independence and problem-solving skills. When you're over-controlling, you may unintentionally send a message that your child isn't capable, which can lead to anxiety or a lack of confidence. A 2018 study in the Developmental Psychology Journal found that children with overly controlling parents showed lower self-efficacy and higher stress levels. The alternative to being over-controlling is to encourage autonomy and guided independence. Positive discipline empowers your children to make choices within safe boundaries, and I'm going to give you some additional tips to that. First, offer limited choices. Instead of saying, "Put on your blue jacket," say, "Would you like to wear your blue jacket or your red one?" This gives your children a sense of control while ensuring the task is completed. 2. Allow safe mistakes. Let your child experience natural consequences like forgetting homework or facing a teacher's feedback to build responsibility. It's also important to teach problem solving. If your child struggles with a task, ask open-ended questions like, "What do you think you could do next?" instead of jumping in to fix or rescue them. And 4, celebrate effort. Praise the process, not the outcome. For example, you might say, "I'm proud of how hard you worked to solve that puzzle." When you do things like this, parents, it boosts their confidence in trying new things. By fostering your children's independence, you help them develop critical life skills like decision-making and resilience. The third parenting mistake is inconsistent rules or boundaries. Inconsistent boundaries, such as enforcing a bedtime one night but ignoring it the next, create confusion and insecurity for children. Children thrive on predictability, which helps them feel safe and understand expectation. Inconsistency can lead to testing limits, power struggles, or even anxiety, as children don't know what to expect. A study in 2020 highlighted that consistent routines and boundaries are linked to better emotional regulation in children. Instead of being inconsistent, it's important to establish clear, consistent boundaries with flexibility for connection, and I'll give you some ideas about that now. 1. Set family rules together. Involve your child in creating a few simple age-appropriate rules. For example, we use kind words to each other in this family. When you do this, you foster buy-in and clarity with your child. 2. Practice follow-through. If a rule is broken, respond consistently with a calm consequence or discussion. For example, if screen time ends at 7 p.m., stick to it every night. 3. Use routines. Create predictable daily routines like a bedtime ritual to provide structure. For example, we brush our teeth, read a story, then lights are out. And 4. Be flexible when needed. Positive discipline allows for empathy. If your child is struggling, adjust while maintaining the boundary. For instance, you might say, "I see you're upset about bedtime. Let's cuddle for extra 5 minutes. Then it's time for sleep." Consistency builds trust and helps our children feel safe while learning responsibility. The 4th parenting mistake is focusing on punishment over teaching. Punishment like taking away privileges or grounding often focuses on what your child did wrong rather than teaching them how to do it better. This can lead to resentment or defiance instead of growth. Positive discipline prioritizes learning and skill building over shame. A 2019 meta-analysis found that teaching-based discipline strategies were more effective at reducing misbehavior long-term than punitive measures. Instead of focusing on punishment, it's important that you shift to teaching moments and connection. You achieve this by 1. Validating their feelings. Acknowledge your child's emotions before addressing their behavior. For example, "I see you're mad because you can't have the toy. It's okay to feel upset." 2. Teach alternatives. If your child hits a sibling, say for example, "Hitting hurts. Next time, try telling your brother you're upset or ask me for help." 3. Use time-ins. Instead of a timeout, try a time-in, where you sit with your child to discuss their feelings and brainstorm better choices. And 4. Demonstrate the behavior you want to see. If you want your child to apologize, model saying sorry when you make a mistake with them. When you focus on teaching instead of punishing, you help your child develop emotional intelligence and problem-solving skills. The 5th parenting mistake we'll cover today is neglecting self-care as a parent. Parenting is demanding, and neglecting your own physical, mental, and emotional well-being can lead to burnout, impatience, or irritability, which impact your ability to parent effectively. When you are stressed, you are more likely to fall into yelling, inconsistency, or disengagement. A 2021 study found that parental stress negatively affects children's emotional regulation and behavior. Instead of neglecting yourself, it's important to prioritize self-care and connection with yourself and also with your children. You can achieve this by scheduling you time. Even 10 minutes a day for mindfulness, a walk, or a hobby can recharge you as a parent. For example, try deep breathing or journaling to manage your stress level. 2. Connect with your child. Spend quality one-on-one time daily with each of your children, even if it's just 10 minutes of play or talking. This strengthens your bond and reduces misbehavior, because when children feel connected, they're more likely to comply. 3. Seek support. Join a parenting group, talk to a friend, or seek professional help if needed, and consider joining positive discipline classes so that you can learn the tips and tools to help you along your parenting journey. And 4. Model self-care. Show your child that it's okay to take care of yourself. Say, for example, I'm feeling really tired right now, so I'm going to rest for 10 minutes and then we can play. It's important to remember that when you are a well cared for parent, you are better equipped to model patience, empathy, and resilience to your children. We covered a lot today, so let's just do a quick recap of the 5 parenting mistakes we make. 1. Yelling or using harsh punishment. 2. Over-controlling or micromanaging. 3. Inconsistent rules or boundaries. 4. Focusing on punishment over teaching. And 5. Neglecting self-care as a parent. By avoiding these common parenting mistakes and adapting positive discipline strategies, you create a home environment where your children feel valued, capable, and motivated to learn from their experiences. Before we close, I want to give you final tips to ensure that you are successful in avoiding these mistakes. 1. Start small. Choose one mistake to address and practice the alternative strategy for a week. Small changes lead to big results. 2. Be patient. Both you and your child are learning. Mistakes are opportunities for growing together. 3. Reflect together. Hold regular family meetings to discuss what's working and what isn't, and how to solve the problem collaboratively. And 4. Celebrate progress. Acknowledge your efforts and your child's growth, no matter how small. Parenting is a journey of growth for both you and your child. By replacing these common mistakes with positive discipline strategies, you're not only addressing behavior but also building a foundation of trust, respect, and lifelong skills. I encourage you to embrace the process and watch your relationship with your child thrive. We are now at the end of our video as we look at the top 5 parenting mistakes we might be guilty of. I'd love to hear from you. Which of the 5 do you struggle with the most? Please share your comments in the comments section. And if you have friends or family who you think may benefit from this content, please share it with them. And also, if you're not a subscriber, we encourage you to subscribe. We're getting close to 1,000 subscribers from around the world, so we encourage you to join our parenting community as we practice positive discipline strategies. Thank you so much for joining us, and goodbye for now.